follow me down, head into the unknown, down the rabbit hole. Where it stops, no one knows. We're going down. We're going down. We're going down. We're going down. Do you dare to follow me down? Head into the unknown.
Something weird going on here. How is everybody? Just a minute. Weird going on here. This looks weird, doesn't it? I feel like something's wrong. Just give me half a second. Hmm. Oh, huh. So strange. Can you all hear me good? So, okay, so the weird thing is now I'm trying, I'm adapting, I'm trying the vertical and whatever landscape. So there's two streams going on. I gifted, or maybe it was in the Nancy one, I can't remember. Whatever. I gifted 10 memberships yesterday, so congratulations to whoever got those. Thanks for coming. Sunny tried to show me how to use Streamlabs, and that's the fun stuff that comes up like with members and stuff like that, and it's not working. So I don't know. I was trying to be a real YouTuber and it's still not working. So let me make sure everybody can hear me good. Hmm. Yep, yep. Good, good, good. Oh, Streamlabs. Weird. That's cool. I don't know what I don't know what you received a ticket for, Lucy. That's funny. That's funny. My apologies. My apologies. We'll see. Maybe I'll send myself a I'm not asking for one, but I'm gonna send myself like a super chat or something in a bit just to see because I got a really I think kind of a fun thing. You know how Sunny has that thing that plays music? Um, I got something. So, anyways, how is everybody for like the fifth time? Hi, countryside. Thank you for coming in today. And Kimber, hey, prayers for Jack and Lily. Lily and Jack, it's been too long. Tell the truth and bring them home. Couldn't agree more. Just the facts. Thanks for finding me today. Yeah, I did. And weird. I I managed to I was gonna show the video, but I wanted subtitles on it, so I made a video with the subtitles, and then when I play it back, there's no visual. It's just subtitles. I think it'll be just fine, but we're gonna listen to it. I enhance the audio a little bit with the subtitles, so hopefully we can understand it better. Wayne talks really fast, and when you have a fast talker who's also got that East Coast accent, not the easiest thing to understand, but we're gonna do what we can. Hey, Lynn and Lacey, good to see you. Hey, Lori, Amy, great to see you. Wolfie, hope you made it back. And I'm not sure. I'm hoping I see both chats in here. If not, hi everybody from whichever one you're watching from. I have no idea. So we're winging it today. Hey Marie. Squid. Good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Who else? Ori. I haven't talked to you forever, I feel like. We need to chat. Um yeah, so vertical and landscape. So the vertical, and I think that's what the little icon beside your name on my side means, that you're watching from the vertical. That's why it looks so, like, let me look. It's terrifying. Terrifying for me to look at that. So I hide the vertical so I don't have to see myself. But anyways, Patriot Girl, thanks for coming in. Hey Kelly, Mr. Hemi. I also, I don't blame you. I hate those ones too. But it's the thing. Everybody's doing it, so, I thought I should get on board. Keeps defaulting to the vertical even from my computer. Looks like you're in the landscape now. Hey, Liz. Trail hiker, good to see ya. Thank you for liking both streams. I appreciate that. I don't know what the benefit of having two streams is, but we'll see. Hopefully I'll see some kind of something. Hey, gang, finding solace. Love that you're here. It reminds me of Winona Earp. I don't know who that is. My bad. Oh, okay. I see TJ's mom. I see. Okay, so yeah, the raffle for the hoodies. I got two hoodies, so we'll just play that way. If you want to enter the raffle, do the exclamation point raffle. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, your name will automatically go into my Streamlabs. And then it's got like an automatic, and I'll pick two people. Then I'll get you to reach out to me, whoever the random draw is, and I'll get your mailing address and I'll ship your hoodies out. Um, you are in the vertical, yes, you are. Cindy, good to see you. Hey, I feel like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to play around with Streamlabs. Like, if it's too much, let me know. So I have no idea what I've done. Just a clapping seal. Love that you're here. Hey, hear me finding both. It's good to know. Hmm. Yeah, see, I feel like that's going two ops. I have no idea. I have no idea. Forgive me and forgive Streamlabs. It's a AI thing, I think, or it's called a cloud bot. So I don't know. Dodie, thank you for coming. Stuck in the vertical. I'm glad you made it out. I'm not showing. What do you mean? Hey, Cheryl. Hey, it didn't work. Thank you, Mr. Hemi. It didn't work though. What the heck? Oh, Cindy Sperry, you entered too. Good. I'm glad that people are entering the draw and that seems to be working. Mr. Hemi did a super chat. Thank you so much. It's not working. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to get some more tutelage from Sunny. It's supposed to be Harley popping up on the screen saying, "Hey, thank you." It's so cute. But hopefully I'll sort that out. Beaver Bank, Nova Scotia. Donna, thank you for finding us. No, I did not. But I heard all about it. Don't even worry about it. Um, way too long for answers. Yeah. Yeah. Gracious too. Good to see you. That's a new name. I look squished over there. I know. Let me just. It's terrible. You got to see it from my point of view. It's horrifying. Been busy. When you have a moment, just okay, will do. Hey, Paige, good to see you. New name, little bit, little bit. Thanks for being here. Gail, good to see you from Millbrook. Wow, excellent. A local perspective in that area. Hey, Firehorse. Yeah, the vertical one is just for your cell phone. And I mean, when I change the layout, like if I do this in the vertical, I believe that my little picture isn't there. You can only see Jack and Lily, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think. Hey, True Crime Housewife. I was rewatching a live stream with Sunny like from 2 years ago, and you were in the chat. And I feel bad that I didn't remember you from back then. But thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Hey, Care. Shar, I think you should make that thumbnail of Harley as a member emoji. He is, I believe. He should be. He should be. And he's also, there's super stickers, super chats, and members. And different pictures of Harley are on all three. And when I figure it out, when people donate stuff like that, he's gonna pop up and he's gonna say stuff. It's cute. Like he's not gonna say stuff, obviously, it's a picture, but there's a really, really handsome voice. I don't like the chat rolls over the picture. Oh, really? Oh, really? I don't see that. Regular chat or like AB's chat? Because AB's chat is Streamlabs, and that should have um like the colorful chat going up. I don't think I turned that on though, but I don't know how it works. Jessica, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hey, Michelle. Got a couple more raffles. Hey, Mike. Glad you guys are entering the raffle. It's good that I hope that it's working on the other end. If not, I can always go back to the live replay and I'll just get your names. And then we'll do a wheel. We'll see. I love Barley too. Except when he's, because he has, I've told you guys a million times, he has to have a lead on, like he has to be on a leash because we don't have a fence in this place. And there's a tree, and his lead is so long, he'll wrap himself around the tree. And I have to go out and walk him back around to bring him back in the house. So, and who else? Yes, definitely, Mike. You have really great thoughts, and I really appreciate your content. Even though I haven't had the time to watch to keep as up to date as I was, I still watch whenever I can. Yeah, the hoodies are nice. They said they're size large. They fit like a medium and a half, maybe ish. But I mean, they're nice. They're good quality. Hey, Bernice. And who else? If you hover over the title, the one that is vertical has a cell phone after it. Okay, good to know. Hi, different mic. Thank you, Missy. Good to see you. Fawn, I mostly lurk but appreciate your lives. Thank you so much, Fawn. I appreciate you being here. Chicken Whisper, I did get your email. I will reply, I promise. 150 grandaroos. The reward. He's next to you. Good, good, good. And who else? These poor little kids need to be found. He's on the pic. Is he on Jack and Lily's picture? He's not on my end. I don't see that. Oh, Nancy, good to see you. There's no chat over the picture on the regular screen live. Okay, good. Good to know. I didn't turn it on, but like I don't know. I don't know. Refrain from what? Streamlabs, that's outrageous. You guys do what you want. Just ignore Streamlabs today, okay? No, you have to do exclamation point and then the word raffle, all one word. Okay? So, you're in love with my hair? Do you want it? Just kidding. I like it too. So much of it has fallen out though. I love Harley and I'm scared of big dogs. I have three, oh, he's not. He's got a big bark, but he's just a big baby. Ian and I were talking this morning and Harley was listening in and I think Ian's probably gained about 25 pounds this winter and Harley and I are probably pushing 10 each. So we need to get back to the property and to the lake and start eating better and being more active. Wintertime is a killer. Seawood, thank you for coming. Crystal, hi. Everybody's entering the raffle. That's awesome. I don't think you have anything to catch up on, Crystal. Just saying hi and trying to figure out if Streamlabs is working. And I don't know what it was asking somebody to refrain from doing, but I did not set that up. So we're going to have to figure that out. Ignore Streamlabs today till I get them figured out. And TJ, no, no what? Thanks for being here. Strawberry wine. You're not really late. I'm saying hi. I'm trying to sort this stuff out with Streamlabs. Yeah. Amy, there you go. Everybody's entering the raffle. Excellent. That comes with our getting older a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Hey, Sailor. And I think I got everybody, but like I said, I don't know if I see both chats. I don't know who's in the other chat. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So I was like banging my head off a brick wall the other day because I was like, I don't know where to go with the Jack and Lily discussion. Like, what do we do? Do we keep talking about the same old same and keep going over stuff, which is, it's okay to do, but at some point, you really want something of substance to talk about. And unfortunately, all we have now is rumors, speculation, or going over stuff that we've already seen, heard, and talked about 100 times over. But then, Monsters of Sabotage made a video finally that is actually useful with useful information, kind of, but I don't know if it'll help find answers for Jack and Lily. But I think it'll help keep the conversation going. And I do like to support channels, especially channels that support me. This channel, however, has um, gone out of their way to make personal attacks against me. So, although I'm in no way promoting that channel because of their content that is directed at me specifically, um, I will commend them on the information that they released yesterday. So, we are going to play the Wayne uh, portion, and then we're going to talk about it. And then over the last number of months, I've had conversations with people regarding Natasha. And I know that when we first got the court docs and we first heard about that tip, we were told, and I'd like you guys, this is the interactive part because I cannot remember who we heard from that Janie worked with Natasha at Dollarama. I think it was Durwood, but I can't remember and I couldn't find it. So, but just to get things started, I am still waiting for screenshots. But for now, I will tell you that according to Janie, she did not work with Natasha. And the reason why, and I need to get this right. So the reason why it took her so long to report that sighting is because, first and foremost, she did not think it was Jack and Lily. And the second part of it is like so many others in that area, they're not fond or trusting of the police, and they did not want to talk to the police. So, being that they didn't think it was Jack and Lily that they saw, and a mistrust of the police, she wasn't going to report it. It was her friend who convinced her that she had to report it. So I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm not saying true or false. I'm just saying after my digging, that's what I was able to find out, right? So we can talk about that, whatever you guys want to talk about. Don't pay any attention to Streamlabs today, you guys, okay? Tell the truth. Thanks for being here. Don't I I don't know what I did, and I will sort this out. This is not I don't care if people post links, so I don't know if that's a thing that I've done on Streamlabs or if it's just like a default, and I'll figure out a way to turn it off. But please ignore Streamlabs. Too many people are tripping over each other to collect an award that won't be collected. People are trying to play Mr. Big and making a fool of themselves. This case is outrageous. This is about two kids. I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Hey, darling. You can only go over it so much. Right, right. And I had there are certain things that bother me to the point where cover I won't do a live stream because I don't want to be a certain way or do certain things. So if I get inside my head too much and I start to overthink and I'm worried that I'll go there, I just won't even bother doing a live stream, which is unfortunate when it comes to um, you know, the Jack and Lily case because you want to keep talking about it. I have to take this off the stage. So, anyways, so going I'm just gonna go ahead and if you guys want to talk about Natasha or anything like that, you can put it in the chat and I'll watch chat. This obviously is a minute and 56 seconds long. Like I said, I did my best to add subtitles to it. They're automatically generated. Um, the picture didn't come up with the subtitles, but this is Monsters of Sabotage. So let's watch it with the subtitles, and then I think we can create a conversation out of that. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Betty Knight, hey, thanks for being here. Okay, wait a second. Uh, Sherwood did say that when he did the interview at Hidden in the Fog. Okay. Streamlabs is timing people out. That's unfortunate. I didn't do it, you guys. I will figure it out. I literally added the alerts for the chats and stuff, and I did the raffle thing. Anything else is just a default setting. I will dig into it today and I will get it shut off. Okay? Ignore Streamlabs today. I'm apologizing right now. Sorry. Sorry. If you put a period and don't use two spaces between Streamlabs, will delete your post. For today, and I'm telling you right now, as much as I want the Harley thing to work, I won't put up with Streamlabs bullshit when it comes to that stuff. So I won't even use Streamlabs if there's no way for me to turn it off. So heads up. Hey, Mattiscatter. And no, according to, well, Natasha's friend and according to Janie, no, she's not. No connection whatsoever. You can do that. Please ignore Streamlabs today, guys. Anyone else going to courthouse for Daniel on March 2nd? I hope somebody is. Talking about the same thing over and over gets old. I struggle to find things to talk about when it comes to Jack and Lily. And I find the more speculation and rumors, I find the more toxic things get. And trying to stay away from that as much as I can. Curious as hell. Thank you for being here. So Natasha is the She is the witness who put a tip in that she saw two children walking Garlock Road the morning of May 2nd. A little girl in a tank top with pigtails, um, not matching Jack and Lily's description per se. Um, it was in the court docs. You watched it last night? Yeah. It sounds like something dark and nefarious happened. No one wants to out it. I did on Sunny's one time, got timed out. They said I couldn't use. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what happens, but I mean it's not a big deal. So the thing is with the new like Microsoft Office and stuff, you don't have to put two spaces behind your period. So we've all retrained ourselves when it comes to typing, or people that have never been into administration and didn't know that stuff, you don't think to put spaces. So not only has Microsoft trained us that we don't need to, but a lot of people never did because they never were in that line of work. So now Streamlabs is trying to retrain us, and I'm not cool with it. So fuck Streamlabs, and they'll go bye-bye if I can't figure out how to turn it down, turn it off. You've done an amazing job keeping Jack and Lily's names out there, but sometimes we need to take a step back. If we all crash, no one will be there for them when the time comes. Agreed. I tried to explain why Daniel got his days mixed up in the last video. Did you? Maybe we'll watch that if we have time. I also want to talk about the the school incident in Tumbler Ridge. I want to talk about that a little bit at the end. Um, Very controversial topics, though, like every bit of it in Canada. It's hard to talk about. Um, like I want to, but I'm also not overly worried about um like I don't want this live stream to be taken down because I talk about that, because we're keeping the conversation going about Jack and Lily. But I still think it's important to have a conversation to let people know what happened, who did it, who lost their lives, and what the RCMP have to say about it. So I'm hoping that my live doesn't get taken down for covering it, but we're gonna try. Is there any benefit to people showing up at the courthouse? I think that if you show up at the courthouse on March 2nd, what's going to happen is you're going to go in there, Daniel's representation, which could just be, I can't remember what they're called in the courthouse. They sit there and they wait to represent people without representation. Probably going to ask for time for Daniel to be appointed legal aid. Um, and it'll probably take all of 3 minutes. If I mean, he's not detained, he's not in jail, so it's not like it's the first time you're going to see Daniel since he was arrested. It's not, I mean, it is that, but at the same time, I don't think there's any benefit to it. You're not going to get any information. No, Malaya does not have to be there. Um, Nobody has to be there except Daniel. So, Julia, good to see you. Time for truth. Hey. And there'd be no reason why not for this. They might, I doubt it, but they might issue publication ban, but I can't see them doing that on March 2nd or before, just because it's just a formality, basically. There's no information coming out on March 2nd, in my opinion. Maybe I just feel like someone should represent Jack and Lily's voices, seeing Daniel allegedly abuse their mom, whether a bad mom or not, still their mom. Yeah, and it's all alleged, right? Both sides, it's all alleged. Hey, Tam. Hmm. Oh, sorry. For too long of a message? Ooh, Streamlabs might get the boot here sometime. I want to do the raffle though. Duty council. Thank you, Mr. Hemi. Duty council. Yes, yes. We sure do censor a lot. Canadian girl, thanks for being here. Anyway, I'm doing the things that I don't like other creators doing. Like I'm dragging it out, and I'm not doing it on purpose. You know what, trail hiker? I bet you he is. Gotta have something to talk about at Tim Hortons. The only brick wall standing between Justice and Lily and Jack is Malaya and Daniel. I don't think you're wrong. Uh, same thing. Legal aid will appoint a public defender if it goes that far. But duty counsel, Mr. Hemi, refresh my memory. That's what it's called. There's duty counsel sits in the courtroom and they represent people who don't have representation yet. So that's probably what's going to happen. Unless he's already got legal aid for this. Because legal aid and public defenders, when you go to family court, you can hire a lawyer if you want, but you're not going to get legal aid for a lawyer for anything for family court, right? Marie, good to see you. Mm, it is. It's infuriating. I agree. But like when you're searching for things to talk about and all you can think of is the same old shit regurgitated, you either become, in my opinion, part of the problem by continuing to talk about all the stuff that we've already been talking about and attacking people. And there's only so many ways to attack the same person over and over and over again. Like, we get it. We get it, honestly. So I just don't see a value in how it's going to help with the case. Yeah, I don't think anybody can disagree with what she said. Southern Indiana, love that you're here. There's three sides to all the stories. Yep. His side, her side, and the truth. Let's hear it. I'm sorry. I'm doing it, aren't I? I'm doing it again. Doing it again. Don't mean to. All right, let's do this. Muting myself. I'm going to make the screen big so you guys can see the subtitles. I'll get rid of this. Get rid of me. Mute.
Oh, he's gonna get a face punching real bad. Because he's driving my sister crazy. He is on her case like you would fucking believe. He's smashing vehicles like fucking crazy. He just wrote my sister's car off. Because he can't fucking drive. And if you don't be pulled off the road pretty soon, he's gonna kill someone.
Just a minute. Let me, how do I, there it is. Use the three-dot menu to customize how's your app. Okay, maybe later. Where's none? Can I get rid of this? Okay, I got rid of the overlay. I'm gonna start it over again so you guys can actually see the subtitles. My apologies.
Oh, he's gonna get a face punching real bad. Because he's driving my sister crazy. He is on her case like you would fucking believe. He's smashing vehicles like fucking crazy. He just wrote my sister's car off. Because he can't fucking drive. And if you don't be pulled off the road pretty soon, he's gonna kill somebody. Waste of fucking time and money as far as I'm concerned. They got to question her. She is 100% to do with that fucking thing. I swear, Daniel, they loaded up her ass from and they went over the store over there and must like get a bunch of clothes done for the kids. Because kids can go to school with dirty clothes on and things like that. Anyway, he fucks up everything. He fucked up my sister's water, her electric stove, everything like that. That's a girl, yes. They come back around 10 o'clock that night with very little clothes for the kids and no bed clothes and very little clothes. It's all fucking planned from the get-go. For clothes? What's not? Okay. Are they sure? Are they 100% sure? My sister, she's on the fucking chat. If Daniel lays in his fucking bed with electric heater on, and doesn't work, he's living off my sister. He is to live off the government. He wants to file for custody for the baby, get a government house and live in town and live off the government. Well, I hope the fucking ship the baby right out of the province. I what the fuck that hurry up and do it. Because I already moved from Millbrook over to Shubenacadie. I'd love to neither one of them get the baby and ship the baby from here to fucking Montreal or down in the States or something like that to get rid of it. Well, I came in the other day and they had a great big son of war fight. I was leaving. They had a great big son of war fight with him. He told me to fuck out, fuck out. And you know what he said? You can't. I can't. I don't have to leave. I own this place. Because she went and got her 2 sons and her name's put on her deed. Fuck. And now he says I own a third of this place. You can't kick me out.
So that is Uncle
Dude, he's
Wayne.
gonna get his face punched in real bad. Because
My apologies. That is okay. I can slow it down. Like half speed. Who said that? Somebody said that. If you guys remember, Uncle Wayne is the same uncle who the searchers got into a little argument with. He is also the same one who, what was it? He's also the same one who allegedly blocked the road from the searchers getting in. So if you remember that, um, who was the one talking to Wayne? I don't know for sure. Like, I have no confirmation of this, but I assume it's the same. I'll put it this way, so I don't want to out anybody. It's the same person who went to pick up the blue blanket. I think that's just my speculation. It's the same one who went and picked up the blue blanket and delivered it to Stellarton Police. That's what I think. Okay, so I have slowed it down. Somebody in chat asked me to slow it down, and we're gonna just play it again. Julia, there's no telling when this was recorded, but we can absolutely say it was after Daniel's accident where he wrote Janie's car off, because he mentions that here. And after the baby was moved from Millbrook to Shubenacadie, which was, say, I think October-ish, early November, but he got into that car accident, I think, in November. So I would like, I don't know. I wouldn't pinpoint an exact time, but I'd say, early December. You want to hint who could have? I would, but I don't want to publicly out anybody, and I don't know for a fact. It's just my educated guess. Based on, because if you listen to the original recording on the channel, you can go watch this on the channel and you listen to that original video, the individual actually says something there. He talks a couple of times, and I mean, the voice is just familiar to me, that's all. Okay, so let's watch it again, slowed down a little bit, hopefully easier to understand, and then we'll talk about it. All right, let's go.
dude, he's gonna get his face punched in real bad. Because because he's driving my sister crazy. He is on her case like you would fuck believe. He's smashing vehicles like fucking crazy. He just broke my sister's car off. And he can't fucking drive. And you don't be pulled off the road pretty soon, you're gonna kill somebody. Waste the fucking time and money as far as I'm concerned. They got to question her. She is 100% to do with that fucking thing. I swear, Daniel. Oh, they loaded up her ass with being they went over the store over there and must like get a bunch of clothes done for the kids. Because kids will go to school with dirty clothes on and things like that. And he fucks up everything. Fucked up my sister wants her like it's all everything's up. And she's girl, yes. They came back around 10 o'clock that night with very little clothes for the kids and no bed clothes and very little toys. They're all fucking free from the get-go. Okay, what time? Okay. Are they sure? Are they 100% sure? He's on the fucking chat. If Daniel lays his fucking bed with electric heater on and doesn't work, he's living on my sister. He is to live off the government. He wants to farm a cut cheap for the baby, get a government house and live in town and live off the government. Well, I hope the fucking ship the baby right out of the province. I what the fuck they hurry up and do it. Because I already moved the Millbrook over to shoot back. And I'd love to neither woman get the baby and ship the baby from here to fucking Brunswick or Montreal or down the States or something like that. Get rid of it. Well, I tuned in the other day and they had a great big son of war fight. I was leaving. They had a great big son of war fight with him. Told me, fuck out, thanks, fuck out. And you know what he said? You can't. I can't. I don't have to leave. I own this place. Because she went and got her 2 sons and her name's put on her deed. Fuck. And now he says I own a third of the site. You can't get me out.
Yeah, I don't think that slowing it down did any good. Just my own observation. Um, yeah, again, last time I'm gonna say it. Just block Streamlabs if you want to. Then you don't have to see Streamlabs. I'll shut it off if I can't figure it out. Uh, in the recording I heard on Shenanigans, he said the kids went to school smelling like piss and dirty clothes. Yeah, he said it there too. Um, what else? Yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to make light of it, but that is Janie's brother Wayne that we just heard. And yeah, he sounds delightful. Janie fucked up. I know she meant well by doing that, but here we are. And that explains a lot. Like if I couldn't figure out why he was able to refuse to leave. And I mean, if his name is on the deed, then that could potentially explain why when Janie asked them to leave, they wouldn't, and she couldn't make them. I don't know. Oh man, I see a lot of problems with Streamlabs. I'm so sorry, you guys. I didn't put it on. It must be a default or something. It's acting like one today, Mike. She is going to go through the settings later after the stream and try to fix it. Yes, I apologize. I really do. He's put his father through such heartache. We're talking about Earl. And if you're talking about Wayne, because if you're talking about Streamlabs, it's literally a bot. Don't apologize to Streamlabs being an asshole today. I don't know. I don't know how Daniel is still allowed to drive, but is he allowed to drive? I don't know. Haven't heard of any recent accidents. Jack and Lily need to be brought home. And it doesn't matter. Like, it shouldn't matter how long your messages are. If it's too long, they go into two parts. That's all. He's not wrong. I don't like that he referred to the baby as it, but I know that's probably just his vernacular. Probably didn't mean anything by it. Good God, kids. I apologize. I thought it would be better, but it's easier to read the closed captioning and figure out that even the closed captioning AI could not figure out everything that he said. So he drive it everywhere. I don't think too much anymore. Lily and Jack didn't deserve this. In my opinion, Daniel is an asshole and Malaya is running a close second. They were neglected of most of basic things, especially if they were going to school. Even in dirty clothes, smell like urine, like that's devastating. Did everybody have one of those kids in school? Like, depending on your age, but I know when I went to school, there was always that one kid who, like, maybe in junior high, whatever, they had body odor, or like the kid in elementary school who just wasn't clean. Didn't think a thing of it back then. Looking back, it's kind of sad. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Ignore him. Firehorse, ignore him. And okay, good. I'm glad it helped. I'm glad it helped a couple of people, but it was kind of disturbing. Well, there's one way to get him out for sure. Get who out? That smell and dirty would be on Daniel if he claimed he takes care of them. Somebody would have to answer for it. Well, you had the words too, so that was great. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, if I could plug it into headphones and type out subtitles, I guess, but yeah, and then I would be the one that had to figure out what he was wearing, what he was saying. If he gets violent, he can definitely get kicked off the property. I suspect he doesn't care if he's allowed to, he just does. Uh, so about Malaya, Wayne said that they need to question her. She needs to be investigated. Um, let me just, I'll pull it back up and I'll put it on mute and we'll look at the subtitles and just see. Wayne with subtitles. We'll just see. Jesus. Just a minute. We'll just have to see if we can make out. Oh, I just won't share the audio. Remove, add, bigger. Oh, I have to get rid of myself completely and get rid of the comment. And I don't want to hear it either though, so give me a sec so I can mute him. And we'll We'll play it and see if we can get to that part, which I seriously doubt. It won't let me mute him. Oh my God. That is terrifying. Just a minute. Maybe I can turn him down. All right. Let's try that. There it is right there. She has 100% to do with that effing thing. That's what he said. They need to question her. That's what they said, Mike. Um, Borrowed or frauded the government. I think definitely, I think it's pretty safe to say lied on their income tax, to say the least. Um, Shenanigans, actually, I don't know if she said it on her live, but in part of our group conversation, we were trying to figure out 30 grand. How could 30 grand um, be accumulated through child tax credit? It doesn't just have to be child tax credit. It could have been COVID or CERB. Remember the emergency, like if you were sick with COVID and were out of work, you could apply and get a certain amount of money. But then a lot of people had to pay some of that back. Some people had to pay it all back. So that very well could have played into it. But that would have been before he was with Malaya, you know? So, like, I don't know how that would impact her ability to collect child tax credit. But I mean, there's something there for sure. His insurance is probably through the roof. Insurance is through the roof for good drivers. Like, I can't imagine. Trail hiker, thank you. Great show today, really? So I'm struggling here, trying to figure out what we're going to talk about. Well, Janie should have told the truth in the beginning. She could have gotten rid of Daniel then. Yeah, but what if she doesn't know the truth, Belinda? Maybe, is it possible she just believes her son and she is not unlike Wayne, where she comes across as aggressive and abrasive, and because that's just her way, but she truly just believes what Daniel tells her? So does she know the truth? I don't know, man. Yes, I had a friend and she got picked on relentlessly. We had a teacher with heavy hands. Oh no. Janie could solve all her issues with one call. Malaya too. Again, do we know that though? Um, the disheveled kid, yeah. And you don't think anything of it, sadly. It's like, you know, and as I got older, I felt for them. Did you? Because it never clued into me that there was a problem. I just thought his parents didn't make him, you know, shower. And if she was playing it, from what I heard, like I didn't watch it, from what I heard, she played it from her phone um into the mic. Maybe the lower bass had something to do with it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I did my best. Cleaned it up. I got rid of some of the scratchy noises and stuff, and but then with all of that, it got rid of the video part of it. It's just like audio with subtitles. Janie had said that from the beginning, all she needs is 10 minutes with Malaya. All she needs is 10 minutes with, did she say that? I'd be scared if I was Malaya to sit in a room with Janie for 10 minutes. Is that a merch sweatshirt hanging on the door? That's what we're raffling. It's not really merch. A couple of years ago for Christmas, my daughter got me a True Crime Story pod hoodie, and the front says mommy, and it's got like blood dripping, and it's really cool. And it didn't, the delivery was late, so she told them the delivery was late, and they ended up sending two. And I've never worn them. I tried one on, but I just, you know, just didn't like the way it fit. So I've never worn them. So they've been hanging in the closet in my daughter's house. And then when I went to work a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, I found them and I was like, oh, hey, I remember these. And then I thought of you guys and thought maybe somebody would want them. Crime Science Stories, thanks for being here. It makes me want to cry when I think of the kids going to school that way. Now it does. Now it does for sure. And even when my kids were in school and, you notice the disheveled child and you wonder, you know, if everything is okay at home. Or even, when you're at Walmart or grocery store and you see a child where their hair is all messy and their face is dirty and it just makes you think like, what do you do? Do you stand there and call CPS because you see a child who's not clean as a member of the public? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I'll tell you, I didn't. In my, well, if kids were up and so was a parent to do stuff, if I, if stuff true, the one I should have never went back to bed. That very true. My feelings are disappointed, but not surprised. My heart breaks over and over again for Jack and Lily. Streamlabs is begging to get fired. What if Daniel ran over one of the babies? He won't get government housing around here. The wait list is years long and his situation is not emergent. If you're talking about Daniel, a single white male in his 30s, fully employable, I don't know what the housing market is like there for rentals. And I also don't know if, I know there are a lot of people who even leave the province for work. So, I don't know what it takes to qualify for that housing, but I think he would be the lowest on the priority list. He is probably in that range of the most employable citizens, unless he has a disability that nobody talks about. But who said it's 30G? Are they a valid source? Good point. That was Durwood, I believe. And Wade, actually. He screwed his whole postal code, no doubt. Now. Maybe. I probably deserved it today. I've been a bit reactional. Not at all. Nobody deserves mistreatment from Streamlabs. If Daniel had to pay CERB back, he would do payment arrangements with CRA, then file tax returns to get GST and child tax. Yeah, trail hiker, but if he doesn't get, if every single year, and I mean, I get what you're saying, I really do, but if every single year he owes the government money, like if he's on employment insurance, I know the debt would accumulate and eventually they would guarantee his wage or take GST or, take it off income tax. But you're right, though. I mean, at what point do they? And if he's done that, how would that affect Malaya's child tax if they weren't even together in 2020, 2021 when CERB was a thing? It's a good point, Trail Hiker. I don't know. And the fact is, we're just speculating about that debt. 100%. It's their demeanor. The Mackenzies are gruff. You don't say. I can't see anyone underwriting him, maybe for like 3K a month. Yeah, I agree. I think Janie is fed up. I do too, and because of the way she came across in her voice clips and even in her TV interview, and sometimes in the DT chat rooms, I can't say I blame her for not wanting to speak out now, but they've done it to themselves. Every one of them have done it to themselves. Maybe that's why Janie is not in the trailer and still in the RV. Well, according to Daniel, she likes her privacy. She prefers it out there. I believe Janie's family all just talk loud, and we are not used to that. There are some people who are just naturally aggressive and abrasive. Absolutely. Janie lived there. She knew what was happening. I agree. I'm just saying about where the kids are, what happened to the kids that night. But I agree with you. What goes on over there is none of my business, but I heard her with my own ears barge in there and say, "This is my effing trailer. I will come and go as I please." Heard it with my own ears. Janie reminds me of my ex-mother-in-law, tough old bird on the outside. I don't think she knows anything. But I do agree with Belinda. She knew there were problems over there. But is that their way? Did she think that's normal? That's okay. That's what kids need. Do you know what I'm saying? Look at Durwood. Like women deserve a black eye every now and then. What is that called? Misogynistic. But me and another friend picked up for her. We were tomboys. Nobody messed with us. We barked back at bullies. Absolutely. I used to say, and I don't anymore, but I used to bully the bullies. Because, I mean, they always choose people that won't stand up for themselves. And as soon as you stand up for yourself, most bullies will back down. And I'm not saying I'm proud of it, but is that one of Danny's sweatshirts back there? No, it's mine. True Crime Story Pod. There was no way she couldn't hear anything. The problem, I think, is Daniel is overbearing. I think as harsh as Janie is, she's afraid of her son. Ignore him. Hey, little black bear. Send me that. Send me that. And let me know where you send it, and we'll pull it up. We'll get the community on it. That's terrible. Send it to me, little black bear. But just tell me in chat where you're sending it so I know where to look. And ignore Streamlabs, little black bear. Just ignore him. Janie was closer than next door. I can't do. And that part kills me, you guys. I want to show this again because I talked about it. People looked at me like I had two heads because my point at the time was that if Malaya was up at 8:28 and the kids were outside playing sometime between 9 and 9:40 and Janie heard them, in my estimation, looking at that property from overhead, I got so much work pictures and stuff here right now. To me, it looks to me like where Janie's bedroom window would be at the back of that RV, and she said she had a piece of wood over it to keep the sun out, but she was still able to hear the kids through that. Daniel and Malaya's bedroom window was no further away from that swing set than Janie's window was. The only difference is they didn't have a piece of wood in there. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm at the pictures now. Just give me a sec till I find the right one. Scratch that. Somebody sending it to me? I can hear my phone going off. Or is that little black bear? Hmm. I have too much work stuff. Just a minute. What'd you do? Marie, is this the right one? Does anybody have a picture of the property where we can look down? Thank you, Wolfie. I know I've got a picture of it, and I just hundreds of pictures in here. But yeah, and it's to me, it's a straighter line from Malaya's bedroom window to that swing set than Janie's is because Janie's also got that chicken coop. And the sound of the chickens, I imagine they're not quiet. I don't know, I've never lived with chickens. It doesn't make sense to me that she was up at 8:28 and then went back into the bedroom, into the bed with the baby and went to sleep so hard that she didn't hear the kids playing outside, but Janie did, and she was sleeping as well. I know Janie's dog woke her up, but you know what I mean? There's just make it make sense because it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. These are all screenshots. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know. My bad. Linda, the kids having clean clothes should have been a priority. Janie had a washer you can easily hand wash and hang to dry. Absolutely. Mother and son, how could you treat your mom like that? Mm-hmm. I agree. You would have had to do your taxes. Yeah, that's true. Oh, is that Mike Demand? Is he or D-Man or whatever? Is he live? He sold the property and owed capital gains, I read in chats. Really, because he told me he gave his property to his wife as part of the divorce, so call bullshit. Malia would also qualify for a benefit through CRA for having 2 children missing. He was probably looking to get regional housing. They check for records. It's all Nova Scotia provincial housing now. Interesting. I'm thinking to blind to abusers. Look at Daniel's dad. What about him? We have no information that Earl was abusive. I don't want to miss anything, but I also want to pull up. Hey, Cindy B. Thank you. You're not timed out. Am I that behind in chat? Well, somebody send me a picture of that trailer overhead so we can see both. And then I'll pull up Little Black Bear. Um, um, okay. I'm scrolling to the bottom. Anybody? Anybody? All right, nobody's going to. You can see my mouse, but I don't even have that up on my screen. Weird. I don't know if I'm going to like this new way doing stuff. All right. All right. Right. Pulling up Little Black Bear. Yes, Wolfie, picture overhead of the trailer where you can see the full RV, the chicken coop, and their trailer. There's an overhead where you can see the whole thing. I want to download this so I can zoom it in, guys. Just sorry, give me a sec. Now I have to go back up. Open this. It's the wrong one, of course. This one. All right, here we go. Here we go. Missing Christopher. Missing since February 6, 2026 at approximately 3:20 p.m. Last location, Portsmouth Avenue in Bath King, Kingston, Ontario. It's 5'7", thin build, curly light brown hair, blue eyes, clothing description, white winter jacket, purple hoodie, brown lace-up boots, other information, tattoo on left forearm that says 2009. If you have any information on this missing youth, please contact any of the following: Kingston Police Service, 613. Everybody take a screenshot of this so you can post it on your socials, please. Let's get his face out there. Crime Stoppers, 800-222-TIPS. Again, P3 Tips, the app. Let's get his face out there, you guys. Ignore Streamlabs. I don't want to keep saying it. Sounds like most of his family isn't thrilled with him. I hope he's found as well. I want everybody to get a screenshot. Let's get that missing persons poster out there on everybody's socials. It would be really great if Little Black Bear could give some context, circumstances around his disappearance. Just a second. I don't see any circumstances, so do they worry? Hmm, I don't know. What's his age, Little Black Bear? 16? Whenever I see a teen missing, I try to hope in the back of my mind that they're okay hanging out at a friend's house. Streamlabs, go wait in the car. Be doing more than that. He stepped out for a minute. It was really cold that week, wasn't it? In Ontario? Is this during your deep freeze? Did anybody see what direction he was going? Is there places he would normally go, like to a corner store, or, does he have friends that drive? Does he drive? It's too bad we don't have more context, and I mean, this stuff needs to go far and wide, and hmm, I don't see any. No, he's having a lot of family problems. Oh, hmm, that's hard. Is he in grade 10 or 11? Yeah, if he just stepped out, there was probably, you would think, some kind of a situation at home he just wanted to take a break from or something. Is that reasonable? I hope he's found. Oh, his mother kicked him out at age 12 and then he's back. Is this the house? Is this the home with his mother? So there's always kind of a, grift there, maybe? Rift? Yes, maybe he went somewhere where he felt safe. And it's unfortunate, but hopefully he's safe and sound and he'll be located soon. When did this missing persons poster go out? Okay, thank you, Wolfie. He's on his own. So he didn't live with his parents and he just stepped out on his own? That is odd. I'm thinking it's odd. When did he, when did, when was he reported missing? Not missing since. So if he was on his own, when did somebody realize that he was missing? And how do they know that he just stepped out? Oh, Al stepped out for a minute. Okay. Can you imagine getting kicked out at 12? Sounds so foreign to me. My dad went to Shelburne at 12 for skipping school. Yeah. He was reported missing on Friday. So the day, so who does he live with? He lives on his own, away from the mom that kicked him out at age 12. Who did he live with? On his own? How did they know he was missing? And I don't mean to be, prodding, but the more information we get, well, okay. Okay. Not old enough to be on his own. I mean, a lot of 15, 16-year-olds do that on the street. So he never, oh, who, do you know who reported him missing? Oh, oh, we don't know who reported him missing. Was he in a foster or group home? Just a side note here, I have heard and have no proof of, but I have heard Tint is working on releasing the entirety of that video with Earl. My uncle left Toronto at 14 too. The pic of him sitting on his luggage always haunts me. He just passed. I find it so sad. Kids and parents usually don't see eye to eye, but they're still your children. He was in a group home, so that's probably who reported him missing. Did he? I mean, that's a little more hopeful to me because kids, they run away from group homes too, and he could very well be just with a friend. Let's hope and pray for Christopher. Keep us posted, little black bear, if there's anything else that we can do for you to help. We would all be more than happy to give you all the support that we can. Yeah, my 3 of my brothers actually were in group homes. This was like, if you know, you know, but they were product of my mom's first marriage and they were in group homes and they would run away quite often from their group homes. I'm not minimizing Little Bear, but I do want to get back on track a little bit and then move on to the situation at Tumbler Ridge. Is this? Let me see. Yeah, this one will do. Oh, this is like an AB chat. He won't get mad at me, will he? Oh, this is just as good. This one's even better, I think. Maybe I'll download it and open it. Just because I like to be able to zoom in for you guys, you know? Okay. Okay. Finally. Pardon me. Mm. I'll tell them good. We're all with you, little black bear. It's little black bear. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Anyone with information regarding Christopher's whereabouts is asked to contact the Kingston Police, 613-549-4660. I don't even want to dig in. Like, oh my goodness, the group homes and the schools for boys and the churches and the horror stories in Nova Scotia, PEI, and Newfoundland, and even New Brunswick. It's heartbreaking. 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 Okay, you guys. Here we are. Can you see my... I believe you can. Okay, so we got Daniel and Malaya's bedroom window back here, right? Swing set is like right here. And it's a clear shot. There's nothing obscuring. This one, there's nothing really obscuring, I guess, but there's the chicken coop. And like I said, those chickens ain't going to be quiet. Are they? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're quiet chickens. I don't know. But she had a piece of wood over her window, but she was able to hear the kids playing. But Malaya couldn't, in bed with her toddler at 9:30 in the morning. I'm sorry, I call bullshit. I just do. What is all this tripe back here? Like, honestly. Like, if this wasn't the condition that Janie was accustomed to keeping her property, I'd be pissed too. I'd be pissed too. You know? But do you see what I'm saying? If you look at, maybe it's a greater distance, yeah, but there's nothing obscuring it. They don't got to hear through the chickens to hear the kids playing out here. They don't have a board over the window like Janie did. I call complete and utter bullshit on that story. I do, and I don't care. I can't think of anything somebody that's going to be able to tell me that's going to make that make sense to me. Unless the chickens are declucked or whatever. We are going to get into that case momentarily, okay? Shelburne, yeah. My gosh. All of it is just an eye opener, wake up call for anybody that didn't realize these things were happening in our little country. Long time to be MIA. It is, unless he doesn't want to be found if he's hanging out with friends. He doesn't want to go back to the group home where there's rules. I don't know. Hope for the best. That can go two ways. Maybe no one heard the kids. It's just hearsay. That's my point. That's my whole point. Because in my opinion, sorry, I was just looking at that little structure up there. But my whole point and my speculation is that nobody heard shit that morning. They didn't hear the kids that morning because if Janie heard them, Malaya would have heard them. To me, in my opinion, that is the only thing that makes sense, and nobody heard shit. Why is the ladder going to that shed? Anyone know? So, and that's what I was looking at. That is an embankment, but what's in there that how do you put this? Like what's in there that they need a ladder up there unless they're just too lazy to put the ladder away when they're in there once or twice a year. But to leave the ladder there just kind of leads me to believe that maybe they were using that structure for something, and I don't know what. Hmm, just a hobbit house in the embankment. That's what it looks like. I don't think Janie heard the kids, and for her to tell Allie, the reporter, this is where it all went down, she doesn't know what went down. She was sleeping. Right? And somebody put in my comments, actually there were a few pretty good comments on one of my last live streams. Somebody said, I think if I'm not mistaken, they were accusing me of bullying Janie because I was playing her clips and saying she's and Bree too when she said she sounds abrasive and aggressive. That's not bullying. That's our interpretation of what we're actually hearing with our own ears. It's not bullying. I don't sit here and make fun of Janie's voice. I don't sit here and make light of things that Janie does or has said because it's all very serious and nothing to make light of. But somebody accused me of doing that by saying that is there something wrong with an older woman being sick that day? And the reason why she was so out of her routine is because she was sick that day. And again, I would just wonder. I get it. You can't pick and choose the days that you're not feeling well, but it's just the Swiss cheese model. All of these things had to line up to create the perfect opportunity for these children to vanish into thin air, literally. So I'm sorry. Even if Janie doesn't know what happened that morning, I call bullshit. She didn't hear the kids. Does anybody live with chickens? Are they quiet animals? Okay, that's it. Streamlabs will be fired. That's it. This is your last day, Streamlabs. She is abrasive, confrontational, aggressive, and drips with contempt when speaking about missing children. And you're exactly right. Chickens are generally, it's the roosters that are not. Really? Chickens are quiet? Are they? In earlier pics of the property, the ones on Facebook, there's a hole in the ground and it got a wooden square around it. I saw that. Like an underground storage area. It's been bothering me. It's gone now by the rocks. Hens are louder than most roos in my experience. Like every third neighbor of mine have them. She swears on a Bible she heard those kids. Okay. So then my point is Malaya must have heard them as well. You don't fall asleep that hard that fast when you got your toddler with you. Not unless you're hungover and your toddler isn't, you know, pulling at your hair and dancing on you and jumping on you and having a good time watching their shows. She fell asleep too, according to Daniel. So maybe it was nap time? Like, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. Okay, guys, I'm going to move on. Hour and a half on Jack and Lily. So I figure I'm doing another live today on Nancy. I'm not going to be talking about the ransom and all the bullshit. I want to talk about the sheriff and the video, and then some really interesting coverage that I was able to come across that nobody else, because everybody else was so enthralled with what JLR was doing yesterday, following the FBI around and stuff, and I just wasn't. Not that I didn't watch it, but you know, I had other stuff. All right, so Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. We are deeply saddened by the tragedy that occurred yesterday in Tumbler Ridge. Our hearts are with the victims, their families, the students and staff impacted, and the entire community as they face an incredible, painful, and difficult moment. We commend the RCMP members and all first responders for their courage in unimaginable circumstances. Additional resources have been deployed to support the community. We stand with Tumbler Ridge. We absolutely do. I have. So when I first heard about this, I was, man, I can't remember what I was doing. I was doing something. Oh, I was trying to decide whether or not to do my live stream that I had scheduled for last night. Like I was saying, I was pretty disjointed with what was going on online. So I eventually decided not to do a live stream yesterday, and I can't remember what I was doing, but anyways, word came across that there was a shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC, and I was like, Tumbler Ridge, Tumbler Ridge. I thought, okay, because Ian's son lives in Prince George. And then I was listening to a CBC report, and there was a RCMP officer on there talking. He wasn't an officer, I think he was chief or something. He was talking, and he said something about living and working in Prince George. And like I said, Ian's son lives and goes to high school in Prince George. So I don't know what I was thinking, but automatically I was just in panic mode trying to get a hold of Jacob, trying to make sure that he was okay. And he wasn't answering me, and I didn't want to worry Ian because he's off working. So it finally occurred to me and then somebody in Sunny's chat said, it's Tumbler Ridge. It's really close to Prince George. I'm like, it's not close. It's not that close. And meanwhile, I'm still waiting to hear from Jacob, losing my shit. And then finally it occurred to me, just go on Google Maps and find out. And it's like almost 4 hours apart. So, and by the time I did that, Jacob was texting me, wondering what my problem was. And yeah, so he's fine. But anyways, it was a tense few minutes for me. So I cannot even imagine what these parents must have been going through when they got word that there was an active shooter happening at their child's school. So this is the most recent RCMP update from this afternoon. We're going to listen to it. We'll listen to a few of the questions and answers, and then we'll talk about not even the suspect, because absolutely guilty of doing this. You can go on YouTube and look it up. It's the Monsters of Sabotage. I can't go on that channel and get the link, unfortunately. But I did my part by telling you exactly where it came from and where to go find it. That's me being fair. Were you getting technical on me on the breeds of chicken? I think that's what you're doing there, just a clapping seagull. They're noisy. I mean, anytime I've seen chickens, they've been noisy. Yeah, I don't know. We'll look into it together, okay? Okay. Oh boy, you guys. I would love to have a peacock too. I doubt it. They're exotic, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wolfie. I mean, there's predators everywhere for chickens, especially if there was a black bear around. Hmm. All right. Anyway, you guys are just enthralled in your chicken talk, and now birds, peacocks, and peafowl. BC used to be walking around where I used to live in Aldergrove. That's closer to Vancouver, correct? I'm the interior salmon arm. Ian's son is Prince George. I can't disagree with that. Absolutely. Bagog, bagog, gog. Yeah. Okay. That's enough of that. You guys, stop it. Time to get serious. Serious. All right. Like I said, this is the most up-to-date RCMP update. A lot of information in here. We're gonna talk a little bit about the perpetrator, and we're gonna try to find info on some of the victims. And let's just do this. And Streamlabs, shut up. Whatever. Fired. Let's go.
Good afternoon. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. And I recognize the significant interest not only the media, but the public have in this event. So I will endeavor to do my best to inform you as up to date as possible and to provide some information moving forward about how we will manage our communications. I'll just start with a review of the incident from yesterday. So on February 10th at approximately 1:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at Tumbler Ridge, RCMP received a report of an active shooter at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. A police-initiated public alert, PIPA, was issued as officers responded. Police from Tumbler Ridge RCMP and surrounding detachments responded immediately, with members from the local detachment arriving within 2 minutes of the initial call. Upon arrival, there was active gunfire, and as officers approached the school, rounds were fired in their direction. Officers entered the school to locate the threat. Within minutes, an individual confirmed to be the shooter was located deceased with what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The suspect has been identified as 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar, who is a resident of Tumbler Ridge. 2 firearms, a long gun and a modified handgun, were recovered by responding officers. Determining the origin of these firearms and what role they played in the shootings remains a significant part of the active and ongoing investigation. Multiple victims were located throughout the school, along with approximately 25 individuals with possible injuries. Once it was determined to be safe, officers evacuated over 100 students and faculty to a local community center, while police continued to assess whether any ongoing threats remained. Those with potential injuries were transported to the local medical clinic for triage and assessment, and 2 victims with significant injuries were transported to hospital via air ambulance. Following a medical assessment of the individuals, no discernible physical injuries were identified for those that remained at the scene. I'd like to correct some information that was shared yesterday and to clarify that 9 people in total are deceased as a result of this incident. Initially, it was believed that one of the victims, a female with significant injuries, who was transported from the scene by our members and then transitioned to paramedics, had succumbed to her injuries. Police have since confirmed that is not the case. She is alive and was one of the 2 female victims that were airlifted to hospital. Both of those victims remain in serious condition. The deceased victims from the school include an adult female educator, 3 female students, and 2 male students between the ages of 13 and 17. 2 additional victims, an adult female and a male youth, were located deceased in a local residence. The BC Major Crime Unit has assumed conduct of the investigation and is working to determine the full circumstances surrounding this tragic incident. There's been much speculation within the community regarding the relationship between the shooter and some of the victims. All of that remains part of the active and ongoing investigation. We are not in a position to publicly confirm any specifics at this time. Additional resources have been deployed to Tumbler Ridge to support both the investigation and day-to-day policing operations, which continue with the assistance of our neighboring detachments. BC Emergency Health Services, the Tumbler Ridge Fire Department, the local medical center, the school district, the community center, and many others within the community have provided significant support throughout this response. Anyone in the community who does not need support, who does need support, is asked to go to the Tumbler Ridge Community Center at 340 Front Street. We understand the community has questions, and we understand they want to know the motive behind this tragic incident. We do believe the suspect acted alone, and there are currently no other outstanding suspects. Our investigators remain on scene, actively gathering information to determine the full circumstances of what transpired. This is a deeply distressing incident where 9 individuals have senselessly lost their lives. Our thoughts are with the families, the loved ones, the first responders in the greater Tumbler Ridge community, and all those impacted by this tragic incident. If you have questions, I'm prepared to take them at this time.
Sister Ramina Dea from Global News, could you please expand a little bit on the suspect? Was he known to police? Were there any red flags regarding his mental health?
So a suspect is identified as an 18-year-old female by the name of Jessie. We have a history of police attendance at the family residence. Some of those calls were related to mental health issues.
Spell this is next name.
Yes, the first name is spelled Jesse, The surname is spelled capital VAN and space capital ROOTSELAAR.
At the residence where the suspect lived.
Yes.
And why can't you elaborate on the relationship between the victims and in that residence and
I can't elaborate on that. So it is believed the victims of that residence and the suspect are family members.
can you say what or parent, sibling, what relationship that is?
Yes, the female adult victim is the mother of the suspect, and the youth male is the brother of the suspect or stepbrother.
Can you expand? You talked about a history of mental health with this female suspect. Could you expand on that?
I'll give you perhaps remaining some general comments on that. Police had attended that residence on multiple occasions over the past several years, dealing with concerns of mental health with respect to our suspect. I can say that on different occasions, the suspect was apprehended for assessment and follow-up.
So apprehended under the Mental Health Act,
Yes.
taken to hospital.
In some circumstances, yes.
Any indication whether or not the suspect was receiving any help for their mental health situation regarding counseling, any of those services that are involved?
I don't have that information at this time. If the suspect was currently receiving care, I don't have that information at this
And
time.
any of the interactions with police, any of them have to do with weapons, guns
Yes.
in particular?
Yes.
Could you expand on that, please?
I will say that, again, I'm not trying to be too circumspect, but police have attended that residence in the past, approximately a couple of years ago, where firearms were seized under the criminal code. I can say that at a later point in time, the lawful owner of those firearms petitioned for those firearms to be returned, and they were.
Were criminal charges laid in relation to those firearms?
No.
So I
What
guess you can
firearms-
provide with the FYI media. My question is, we've heard all around the world, reports coming up from different media, not local but world. And we've heard people from Tumbler Ridge, actually people that know the shooter. And they are all saying that this person is transgender. Why is the RCMP not speaking? So why are we hiding this from them?
Well, first off, thank you for your question. We're not hiding it. In fact, you're the first media to ask the question. I will say this, we identified the suspect as they chose to be identified in public and in social media. I can say that Jesse was born as a biological male who approximately, the information that I have, approximately 6 years ago began to transition to female and identified as female, both socially and publicly.
Transgender, masculine. Do you think there's a correlation here?
It's too early to say whether that has any correlation in this investigation. I think it's important to recognize that this investigation is still in its infancy. We have scenes still lock down the school and the residence while we execute search warrants and gather further evidence and talk to witnesses that may have further evidence for police.
Can you tell us what did? I'm just wondering, can you tell me when will police, prior to yesterday, last in contact with Jesse?
That's a good question. I probably have that answer somewhere here in my papers, but I believe we were there sometime last year.
So nothing in the last few days.
Nothing in the last few days. That's correct.
Talked about the guns that were recovered. And can you say anything about who owned those guns, whether he had any substance?
So I will say this, I know the guns are of significant interest to everybody. Part of the reason we haven't identified the specific models of the firearms or ownership is because at this point in time, our investigators continue to pursue those leads. We want to make sure that the information we do provide is accurate. We want to ensure that we can identify properly the ownership of the firearms, how they were procured, whether they were lawfully owned, unlawfully owned, whether they were manufactured, and whether there could be any other parties to an offense that we are not yet aware of. So when we are able to release that information, we certainly will.
He was quite young. Did he have a license?
I can say that she had a license that had expired I believe it was in 2024. She did not have any firearms registered to her.
Can you talk about, sir, any indication in the information you have regarding Jesse experiencing bullying at the school, any sort of difficulty at the school because of this transition from male to female?
I do not have any information to suggest that was the case. I can say that Jesse dropped out of school approximately 4 years ago and was not currently attending the school.
Sir, I have a question here from Jared Western Standard. They they wanted to just know why we waited until now to confirm the identity of the suspect.
It's a good question. I know it's one of concern, specifically with the speed of social media. I think it's important to recognize that yesterday, when we first provided a media availability, it was approximately 5 hours after the active shooter event. At that point in time, we were still trying to lock down locations. We had victims that we were evacuating. As you can imagine, the scene was quite chaotic with significant amount of trauma. And it's important for us when we do release information to get it accurate. I point to the case of now having to correct and say that there's only 9 deceased persons instead of 10. We want to get information out as quick as possible, but we also appreciate that that information needs to be accurate, because particularly when we're dealing with victims or dealing with the identity of a suspect, we have to take into consideration, in this case, our suspect was deceased. We had to locate next of kin to notify them. So I would hate, notwithstanding the public interest, I would hate for someone to find out that their loved one was deceased, coming from our podium or coming from the news media in advance of being told in person.
And I have one other question here from Ruth of an Energetic City. Was the suspect related to anyone else?
I can say that the suspect was not related to any of the victims of the school. I don't have any broader information beyond that, other than say that the suspect was related to the 2 victims at the private residence.
Did the suspect leave a note or any other communication in advance of this happening?
Not that we've located so far, but we are continuing to pursue that.
Sir, are you able to give us sort of what the police's working theory is on why this happened?
Well, we don't have an idea yet as to motive. And again, recognizing we're still less than 24 hours into this incident, it is something that we are certainly passionately pursuing. But it would be too early to speculate on motive at this time.
Was there a bull put out to be on the lookout for prior to the shootings regarding the suspect?
Not that I'm aware of,
Okay.
But once the shootings commenced, we did issue the public police alert.
And did police open fire on the suspect?
Police did not return fire, to the best of my knowledge, but went into the school.
Where in the school were the victims killed?
There was one victim that was located deceased in the hallway, in the stairwell of the school, and the others were located, I believe, in the library of the school.
Comments on the home of the shooter? Was it in disarray? Sometimes when there's some sort of abuse going on, there's certain things you see in a person that apparent.
I can't comment yet on the nature or the environment of the family home. It was locked down originally for to secure a search warrant in order to allow our investigators to go in. So I can't comment at this point in time.
Like where there are 2 people on this.
I do have that information. It will be locked down, so I would respectfully ask members of the media and the public not to attend the scene of the family home, because we have a lot going on there, but it's 112 Fellers Avenue in Tumbler Ridge. I don't have that information at this point in time. I can say that historically there were firearms that were secured at that residence in a safe, but I haven't updated with the investigators yet to determine if they've gone in and located more firearms.
Clarification. Being called to the school or the shooter, were they called to the home before that?
Yes, no, they were called after. So we understand the sequence of events, and I'll get to, so we did not receive a call to attend the home until approximately 2:47 PM or 1:47 PM Pacific time. We were called because a neighbor, there was a young female at that home that went to the neighbors, and that's how we learned that there were two deceased at that residence. So the neighbor called the police. We know the sequence of events now is that the incident at the home occurred first, where we have the two deceased family members, and from there, our suspect attended the school and commenced their criminal activity there.
What was the relationship of the child who alerted the neighbor to the victims and the suspects?
Family member.
Has the reunification process been completed for the injured and the evacuees?
For the students, and so most of the what I would call injured individuals are people that were assessed for injury were released right in Tumbler Ridge shortly after receiving triage and or treatment. Those that have been medevaced, I can't speak to that, but I won't speculate on whether they've been in contact with their family. We're still dealing with extended family of those that are deceased.
Do police believe, based on the information you have thus far, that the suspect had gone into the school specifically targeting an individual, or it was a random shooting?
So we don't have information at this point to suggest that anyone was specifically targeted. I will say that as we continue in the investigation, there is further evidence to gather from the school with respect to video surveillance and that of our officers as well.
What can we expect with the victim IDs? Will the RCMP be naming them? And what status are you at with family notification?
So we're currently ongoing with the family notification. I will say, as I mentioned before, that most of our victims are quite young. Most were born of the students, most were born 2013, 2012. So as you can imagine, for family members, extended family members, friends of the family, et cetera, this is incredibly traumatic. And so we will deal with and work with the families and cooperate with them in terms of the release of the identities of the victims, photographs and the like. I know we need to approach this with a trauma-informed practice. We don't want to create additional trauma for families that are dealing with probably the worst circumstances of their lives.
So some victims may not be named officially, or that will be up to the fence.
That will be up to the families as they are minors.
In terms of the 25 people who were injured, how many of them sustained gunshot wounds?
So of the 25 surviving individuals, the two that are currently airlifted, the majority of the rest, there were not gunshot injuries. The reason they were all examined and triaged in first instance is there were a lot that presented with injury, blood, et cetera, that weren't actually injured, but we had to work through all that.
So what kind of injuries were they? Was it like glass or?
I don't want to speculate. I don't have the exact details, but you can imagine in a chaotic situation where the students and faculty are barricading themselves in a room that many types of injuries could result.
Were there any, you mentioned that there weren't any recent, no recent involvement with police and the suspect, but were there any calls, concerns by anyone in the public to police about the suspect in recent days, weeks, months?
The most recent incidents I have are from spring of last year. So we've checked our police indices or databases, et cetera. I don't have any information that there's been anything since then.
And could you give us the context of the spring of last year?
Similar to what I said before, the concerns regarding mental health, self-harm, those types of concerns.
Okay, we'll take two final questions. So was it 27 injured in total and 2 airlifted 25, or was it?
So I don't mean to smile, but to clarify that, I'm going to say I'm not entirely certain because we have injured from gunshot wounds, we have deceased, and then we have those that were triaged at scene. I'm going to say that the 25 that were triaged at scene are separate from those that were airlifted and those that are deceased.
Sir, we just have one other question here regarding the victims. The ones that were airlifted, do we have any updates to their status?
Critical but stable. Thank you, everyone.
Sorry.
what do you say? That's something that happens too often, and I know that in in the United States, a lot of them don't even make the news anymore. But here in Canada, it's not as common. We do have much better gun control. Um, and another thing that is different when this happens in the United States, we tend to have the victims' names relatively quickly, and it doesn't sound like we'll get those here unless the families decide that it's something they want to share. I just, I don't even know what I want to say about it other than, you know, it sounds so hollow, but all of the families they're in my thoughts. I can't imagine what it must have been like to hear that there's an active shooter at my child's school. I do honestly thank God every day that my kids did not have to grow up in that world. It just wasn't, it never happened. It was something that happened in the United States, and I'm not trying to be in any sort of way about our American friends, but their society is much, much different, in my opinion. So here's the guy who identified as a girl, Jesse. There is, there was another picture I had on my thumbnail. This does illustrate for me because watching what has gone on in the United States, I had formed the opinion that it was to fix the problem, you have to first deal with the mental health crisis and with gun control. They both go hand in hand, and you can't fix one without the other and expect positive change. And I feel like this kind of our mental health system is broken as well. But I think there's a lot more to be said about what is truly broken in both of our countries, where it starts. I don't know. I don't think it's beneficial for me to share my own opinions, but I can't imagine what families must be going through. Um, and I hope they can find a way to not even heal as a community, but to the government, families, all politicians, community leaders. I mean, if anybody can do it, I think Canada can do it. We can fix the problem if it's serious enough, and nothing seems to be serious enough for the government to do anything meaningful with any of this. So there was one, I don't know if I can, yeah, I can. There was a video about one of the survivors who had decided to speak out. And so I want to watch that, and then probably gonna wrap it for the day. because I have another live to do, and I don't even know what time. I think in an hour.
It's the main crime scene where police have
Less than an hour. So this is 3 minutes long, and then, guys, I'm going to end it. But hopefully you'll come back and join me for the Nancy Live. Got some interesting stuff to talk about. But for now, here is this story.
It is the main crime scene where police say 7 lives were lost and the lone suspect was found with a self-inflicted injury. Now, so much is still uncertain in these hours following what, as you mentioned, what is one of the worst mass shootings in this country's history, including a possible motive. Now, 2 more bodies were found at a home that police believe was linked to the shooting, but it has not yet been revealed how. Now, investigators say they're not in a place right now to understand either, again, what may have motivated the suspect to commit what is now the 3rd deadliest shooting in this country's history. Prime Minister Mark Carney stopping to speak with reporters earlier this hour. He became visibly emotional, just reflecting on the horror of this tragedy. Have a listen.
Say, a very difficult day for the nation this morning. Parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers in Tumbler Ridge will wake up without someone they love. The nation mourns with you. Canada stands by you.
Now, this is a small community in the northeastern part of BC that sits in the shadows of the Rocky Mountains. This is the kind of community where every victim's name will be known. One resident described it as the kind of place where everyone perks up when you hear the ambulance sirens going because everyone knows everyone. Now, at least 25 others were injured in this attack. That includes Krista Hunt's 12-year-old cousin. She described to Omni News the harrowing moments of finding out that her cousin had been struck.
It's very scary. And she's only 12 years old and, fresh into high school. And, you don't expect a tragedy like this to impact your family. So we're all just sitting praying that she's going to make it through.
She remains in critical condition at Vancouver's Children's Hospital. Now, world leaders are also offering their condolences to Canada. I'll read you a few of them. The royal family calling this a brutal act of senseless violence, acknowledging that this has left an appalling shadow across Tumbler Ridge. President Emmanuel Macron of France says his country stands alongside the Canadian people and described the shootings as horror. Germany's chancellor says the news has deeply shaken us and wish the injured a swift recovery, while Australia's prime minister said he is deeply shocked and saddened by the tragedy. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also issuing a statement of support on X in which he said such tragedies should never happen anywhere in any country in the world. Now, Faiza, little information right now is known about the identities of the 9 victims who died. It's unclear right now whether or not they were students or teachers at the high school, as well as the relationship between the suspected shooter and the 2 bodies that were found at that home. It's also unclear right now the extent of the injuries or the status of the 25 people injured.
So, w- so your comments are very, they're very true, and I agree with you all. And just, I think for me, out of respect for the victims, I am not going to continue talking about this. I don't want to spend too much time on the perpetrator until we have more information. And with all due respect to the families of these victims, when they decide to speak out, I think will be a good time for us to speak out and talk more about them, because they're they're what matter. And knowing their faces and knowing their stories, I think should help bring home how important it is to fix this. Whatever is going on, it needs to be fixed. And I think the only way to do that is to show us what we've lost, show us what the world's lost. So, on that note, I'm going to go and compose myself because I did not think that that would happen. I know it happens in Canada, but she's 12 years old, you guys. She's 12 years old. It's senseless and terrible. So hopefully y'all come back and spend some time with me while we go through some. And Nancy's case is still a heavy case, and it's absolutely bizarre everything that's going on there. But we have some things that should spur a little different emotion. But again, justice for Jack and Lily. We'll keep trying to talk about them. If you guys get anything new or any ideas of conversation that you want to have about Jack and Lily, please send it to me. And we will keep our eye on this. And if victims' families want them identified, we will remember them, and we will make their faces known and their stories known, and we will advocate for positive change. So with that, hope to see you soon, and thanks for being here, everybody. And I will deal with Streamlabs momentarily. Have a great day. Bye.
We're going down.